Hey! Okay, perhaps if you saw the last video that I uploaded, this is a significant day really, because this is the very last day that I'm recording some content for my YouTube channel from home. It's been 6 months of lockdown time, and I hope most of you have been able to access some of the videos on here and learn something from it. But I am moving all my equipment back to Roscoe's, back to the studio to start lessons on the 14th, Monday the 14th of September. So this is going to be the last one here, even though I will still be uploading to YouTube at some point down the line, just to kind of keep up with our regular lessons that we have back at the studio, okay? I can't believe it's been 6 months, but it has. Okay, so this last video, we're going to look at the Paul McCartney song. It's a cover version. I can't remember who did it originally, but it's a cover version, and it's called No Other Baby But You. I don't want No Other Baby, okay? And essentially, it just plays like a 12-bar blues in E. It's got an E, an A, and a B7. Okay, and we could play the chords like that. If you listen to it a few times, you should be able to tell where the chords change and get the feel of it. And if you want the sheet music for it, just give us a shout and I'll send that over to you. But it's quite easy. It's using an E major, A major, and then the B7. So they're the easiest shapes that we can use for that. Or I could use the power chords, E, A, and a B like that. Or I could also use an E power chord up here, an A bar chord at the 5th fret, and the B at the 7th. In addition to that, if I wanted to, I could also use that A major shape, but rather than using fingers 1, 2, and 3, I could use fingers 2, 3, and 4. And keeping those on the strings there, slide it up to get my bar chord shapes. Now really, this lesson's going to focus a little bit more on the guitar solo that David Gilmour plays. And it's a little unusual because it plays in the key of E major. Most of the time when we've done stuff in E, and we've done loads of stuff in the key of E, we tend to put a minor pentatonic scale on that, what I would normally call an E scale. A lot of the time for kind of blues and hard rock stuff, we use a minor scale, this kind of thing. Okay. But in this case, we're going to use the E major scale, and we know the difference between the major and the minor, obviously, is the major sounds kind of happy and upbeat, and the minor sounds a bit more serious and maybe, you know, even a little bit sad sometimes. In this case, we're going to keep the song nice and light by using a major scale in the guitar solo. And the major scale isn't one that we use very often, and I don't teach it very often, really. And in fact, I get it wrong quite a lot of the time, but I'll give it a go, and it's this. That is roughly your E major scale. I'll go through that again. So on the E string, I'm playing open, and the fret numbers of 2 and 4. Onto the A string, open, 2, 4. D string, I play 1, 2, 4. Bit of a stretch that one, and I do the same on the G, 1, 2, 4. And then I shift my finger up, and I play fret 2, 4, and 5. Hear that that's a major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do. Okay, so we're going to play through it a little bit. I'm going to explain a tiny bit about what he's doing in the solo first, and in fact we're going to join it in the first guitar solo because there were 2 solos in this. So after the first solo, I'm going to come back in with the chords. as Paul McCartney's singing, and then we'll look at roughly what he's doing in the second solo as well, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to explain it first before I play through it. Really, the note that he's using at first starts at the 4th fret on the G string. Now, sometimes, you know, you'll see him use different fingers. I like to slide this note up. If I hit the right thing. Oh man, what's going on? There it is. 4th fret on the G. And then... So then you can see I'm putting my 3rd finger on at the 6th fret here. This is on the G string. And just bending it up a tiny bit to create the semitone effect of that bend. A lot of the time with bends we talk about having a target note. A target, and a lot of the time that might be a full tone. You know, if I do this kind of thing. And a lot of the time that bend is actually trying to aim for that note. In this case, this is a semitone from here. So if I was to play that without bends, it would go. So I'm just pushing it up slightly. I'm bending down here on the D. He also does this slide effect, going back to the 4th fret using my 1st finger, and I play this. So you can see that I'm just playing on the G and the B. I call those kind of effects chimes because it's kind of like ding dong, like a doorbell. Ding dong, ding dong. So it's something like that, okay? I'll play that through again and then we're going to start the playthrough. Remember, he's playing in a major scale, okay? So. That's just a little slide. And then back to an open E power chord, then he goes back. In this case, I've got the 6th fret on the D. So let's have a play through of it, okay? Hope that helps a bit. Back to the chords now, okay? Well, I said what the women say, be my daddy do. Yeah, that's what the women say, be my daddy do. B7. But yeah, I don't want no other baby but you. Power chords this time, right? I said, I don't want no other baby but you. No, I don't want no other baby but you. 'Cause no other baby thrills me like you do. So I'll see you back at the studio. I hope that made sense.